From a computer tower to possible hair strands, we now know what police uncovered from University of Idaho murder suspect Brian Kohberger's apartment the day he was arrested. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Aaron Luna. A newly unsealed search warrant also reveals that investigators took cuttings from a pillow that had what they described in court documents as reddish-brown stains. Tonight on Nightside, Rania Kaur joins us with what police were looking for and the additional details revealed about the crime scene.
Aaron, Kirsten, police were looking for absolutely anything that could be found at Brian Kohberger's apartment that could connect him to the murder. In the search warrant, police say there was a lot of blood in the home where the 4 University of Idaho students were killed. They think some of that blood could have gotten on Kohberger's clothes and shoes. Investigators also say Kohberger could have brought hair from the victims or their dog back to his apartment inadvertently. From Kohberger's home, police found 8 possible hair strands, another possible strand of animal hair, and cuttings from a pillowcase that had reddish-brown stains. The search warrant tells us police were looking at Kohberger's shoes. A footprint with a diamond tread was found at the murder scene. However, shoes were not listed on items taken from his apartment. Also in that list was a Fire TV stick with a cord and plug and a computer tower. Some of those items could have data that would shed light on a motive. Detectives can look at the computer search history or search for the pictures of the victims, the home on King Road, and the surrounding neighborhood. Even though the unsealed documents give us a full list of what police found at Kohberger's home, we still don't know what's been tested and what evidence, if any, investigators have connected to the crime. We also don't know if investigators were able to find anything to use as evidence from his campus office at WSU. Those pieces of information could be revealed at Kohberger's next court date, his preliminary hearing on June 26th. Kohberger still has not entered a plea in this murder case. In studio tonight, I'm Rania Kaur, 4 News Now.
To read the entire search warrant and a full list of what police seized from Kohberger's Pullman apartment, just head to this story on KXLY.com. Well, the search warrant for Brian Kohberger's apartment in Pullman shows that investigators are trying to determine if he had been stalking any of the victims.
And tonight we have information about how you can tell if you're being watched and what to do if you do identify a stalker. Stalking survivor Anna Nassett runs the organization Stand Up Resources, advocating for stalking victims. Nassett tells 4 News Now a stranger approached her in 2011 at her art gallery in Western Washington, following her and sending her multiple messages online. Nassett ended up closing her business and moving to Vermont. However, the man found her again.
The slogan for Stalking Awareness Month is know it, name it, stop it. So I just name these things, know that you are right to go seek help and go access services, and know that you are courageous and you deserve to live with freedom.
After going on trial, the stalker is now serving 10 years behind bars in Washington for the crime of stalking. Spokane police say documenting all the evidence is key. So screenshot messages that you receive and take a picture of unwanted gifts. Spokane police say there are multiple levels of restraining orders in Washington, such as temporary orders where you can apply at courts in more critical incidents. Many resources are available for people on websites like stalkingawareness.org. In tonight's Crime Watch coverage, 25-year-old Rios Mirabel will spend the next 5 years in prison for starting a fire at St. Charles Parish and School back in March of 2021. He was also ordered to pay nearly $5 million in damages. And new on Nightside, a suspected fentanyl dealer has been arrested in Moses Lake.
He was arrested at a traffic stop as part of an ongoing investigation into fentanyl sales in the area. Dustin Duville's car was impounded and searched. In it, detectives say they found about 3,000 fentanyl pills, 4 ounces of fentanyl powder, and 8 ounces of meth. Detectives also searched his storage unit and his home, where they recovered 2 illegal firearms, a stolen motorcycle, and a motorcycle with the VIN number removed. Duville is being held in the Grant County Jail. The Central Valley School District is making student safety a priority. Tomorrow at Ridgeline High School, the district is hosting a school safety night. It starts at 6 o'clock. Parents will be given the opportunity to ask questions about the district's safety protocols or any other concerns they may have about their child's safety. Well, we've had a drizzly night so far, but there's more than rain out there.
I kept thinking about it and looking for it through my windshield. Meteorologist Matt Gray's in for Chris tonight. Matt, I'm talking about the snow, of course.
The snow.
When is it going to fall?
Well, I tell you, I just went outside our back door here and, stuck a hand out. And I'd say that's the fluffiest rain I've ever seen in downtown Spokane. So I think pretty much we have transitioned over to at least a wintry mix across most of the inland Northwest, despite what maybe some of the icons down here at the bottom of your screen are saying. 33 in Spokane, it's 34 in Coeur d'Alene. And, well, you could see whatever is falling is fairly visible on the cameras. So we are seeing mostly snow at this point in all but the very bottoms of the valleys here, for example, right around downtown Spokane. If we look at some other places where we have been seeing some consistent snow a little bit longer, on the West Plains, we actually have a little bit of light accumulation. This is I-90 and Geiger Road out by the dump. And you can see in the street lights some fast flying snowflakes. And this is 95 and State Road 53 near Rathdrum. A little bit of light snow falling through the street lights as well. So not expecting a whole lot in the accumulation department here tonight. You can see a lot of the heavier stuff is now beginning to track out of the West Plains and into the Central Valley and then over into the Rathdrum Prairie. Now, when temperatures are right around 32 degrees, the radar gets confused. It doesn't really know what it wants to paint this as, but I do believe this is mostly snow at this point. Let's track further to the north so we can show you where else we are going to be seeing some snow for the next few hours. We'll get there eventually. There we go. Newport, Sandpoint, already some of the highway cameras picking up some snow here. So we will be seeing those light snow accumulations through the night from Colville and Chewelah all the way across to the Montana border with the Idaho Panhandle. Now, there is a back edge to some of this heavier snowfall, and that is basically right over the Spokane area right now. So we're likely going to get into a little bit of a break here, at least in Spokane County, shortly. Now, there is some more moisture in the Walla Walla and Dayton areas. That is going to be tracking to the north as we head later on tonight. So there still will be a chance for a little bit more snow, but at least on the Spokane side of the state line, the majority of the action is about to wrap up. Now in North Idaho, a whole different story. We'll talk about that and where we could see slick spots on the morning drive coming up.
Thanks, Matt. Well, dogs across North Idaho are flooding into local shelters. These dogs specifically are part of an ongoing investigation from the Bonner County Sheriff's Office. And when the husky mixes were found abandoned in North Idaho, many had visible health problems. Some of them weak, emaciated, some have sores all over their bodies. Investigators say they believe they know who abandoned these dogs and will seek criminal charges. For now, though, different animal shelters in North Idaho are trying to get these dogs feeling better so they can eventually find safe, loving homes.
Till we put some weight on them, you can see from the pictures that they're very emaciated, and so they need and you can't feed them a lot you feed them little bits at a time.
If anyone is thinking about helping, you can drop off dog food to the Better Together Animal Alliance or sign up to foster one of the dogs once they're a bit healthier. You can also make a donation to the Kootenai Humane Society, which will help with things like food and veterinary care.
Homelessness in Spokane has been front and center for a while now. Camp Hope, which at one point had more than 600 people living on state-owned property, was just one example of the need for housing in our community. Now there could be a new solution on the horizon. Senate Bill 5202 would bring $4 billion to Washington to finance programs and projects that address housing insecurity. This bill could be a solution for the homelessness, getting people into permanent housing. It would also support low-income families. This bill would authorize the State Finance Committee to issue up to $4 billion in general obligation bonds. It would all go to financing programs and projects that will address housing insecurity. Senator Yasmin Trudeau, who is sponsoring the bill, thinks this could be the answer Washington needs. Some concerned citizens disagree.
And we have a crisis. We all also agree on that. Everyone wants to address the unhoused. To do that, we need low barrier housing with supportive services, and we need low income housing options.
This bill will not help the target population, individuals who are homeless.
Michael McKinley, the citizen who is against the bill, is concerned that the $4 billion is outside the constitutional debt limit and equivalent to almost half the state's entire debt limit.
Well, the Pac-12 released its full football schedule for next season, and Washington State will have a number of big-time matchups this fall. The Cougars open the season on September 2nd on the road against Colorado State. That will be followed by the home opener against Wisconsin on September 9th. Wisconsin will be the first Power 5 program to play a non-conference game in Pullman in 25 years. Now, similar to last season, the Apple Cup against Washington will be held on the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and that matchup is in Seattle. And those are just some of the games to keep an eye on for the Cougars next season. We'll take a deep dive into the full schedule coming up in our full sportscast.
Gonna want to really take a look at this. It's not your average chase. That was North Carolina State Police chasing a man driving away in a John Deere tractor, reaching speeds of about 30 miles an hour. Yeah.
Pretty quick.
It's like an e-scooter. Police say the man stole the tractor and then began driving recklessly on the highway, crashing into several vehicles. And eventually, officers were forced to shoot out the tractor's tires once the man began driving toward a school. The man now faces multiple charges, including assault with a deadly weapon. NASA and Boeing are joining forces to create a greener commercial airplane.
And prosecutors unveiling a massive new trove of evidence in the case of a missing Massachusetts woman, including the suspect's grisly Google searches.
A rupture in the city's reservoir in Lewiston, Idaho. What's being done?
Why Washington is ranked as one of the worst states to drive in.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mainstream Electric Heating, Cooling, Plumbing. Those responsible for making our local roads and highways safe for winter travel would like to remind you that snow removal is an important, critical, and precise task. Please give the right-of-way to removal equipment so we can all get where we need to go quickly and safely.
At Cal, you'll never know what you'll find. Classic cars, tricked-out high-performance trucks, sporty low-mileage SUVs, and reliable fun rides.
We always have cool rides at SoFast.
Chevy, Ford, Dodge, Toyota, Mercedes, BMW.
If you need a certain style of vehicle, we will find it for you. Plus, every rig comes with a 1-month, 1,000-mile warranty.
And $50 down is all you need.
The inventory changes quickly because we price them right.
Let's wave the flag together. Hello, I'm Mark Peterson with 4 News Now, presenting the Great American Flag Swap. Bring your old tattered flag to Dave Smith in Kellogg, Idaho on January 25th, and in exchange, you'll receive a new American-made flag from Uncle Sam's Flag and Gift.
Dave Smith Motors has been serving the local community for over 50 years, and we're proud to support the Great American Flag Swap. If you've visited our dealership in the Silver Valley, you know how much we value our country and its national symbol of freedom. Dave Smith Motors, honoring our veterans and all who serve.
It's time to make 2023 the best it can be by joining the #1 voted gyms, Move Fitness. Whatever your New Year's resolutions are, we have the equipment, staff, and facilities to get the job done. Move Fitness.
New tonight, Jennifer Lopez joins Kimmel.
Jenny shut down the whole block for the premiere of her new movie.
Did I mention Lenny Kravitz is in the movie?
I came to invite the entire audience.
Plus, music from Fall Out Boy. Jimmy Kimmel Live, new tonight on ABC.
Winter weather means hazardous driving conditions. If you must travel, follow these guidelines to keep everyone safe. Slow down and keep a safe following distance. Use traction tires. Give snow and emergency vehicles the right of way. Carry an emergency kit. Brought to you by Lakes, Worley, Post Falls, and Eastside Highway Districts. 4 News Now is brought to you by Move Fitness.
Thanks for staying up with Nightside. Anna Walsh, a Massachusetts wife and mother of 3, missing since New Year's Day. Her husband, Brian Walsh, arraigned today on murder. Prosecutors unveiling a massive new trove of evidence, including his grisly Google searches.
At 4:55 a.m. on January 1st, he searched how long before a body starts to smell. At 1:10 p.m., can he be charged with murder without a body?
Prosecutors claim early on January 1st, using his son's iPad, Walsh allegedly searched how to stop a body from decomposing, along with several other searches you heard her describe. Walsh also made several visits to dumpsters around the area, carrying garbage bags. Most of those items shredded and burned.
By the time police located that, they were already destroyed.
Police did manage to find 10 trash bags with blood-stained items, including a hacksaw, towels, a purse, Anna's COVID vaccination card, and slippers, which they say had DNA from both Anna and Brian Walsh. They also found 2 knives and blood in the couple's basement. Fury and frustration were on full display at the school board meeting in Newport News, Virginia, where a 6-year-old student shot his first-grade teacher earlier this month.
And more than 100 people signed up to speak. One mother says her daughter rushed out of the classroom after witnessing the shooting.
She's 6. She's terrified because the person that was advocating for her got hurt.
Well, dozens of school employees also spoke. One middle school teacher questioned the district's response to recent violence.
Our students do not wonder if there will be another school shooting. They wonder when and where the next shooting will be.
The elementary school remains closed. No timeline was given on when the kids will be back in class. School leaders are now pledging to have a full-time security guard, a fully staffed front office, and a metal detector on campus. The 6-year-old boy remains in custody. Police say he used his mother's gun. It's unclear how he got a hold of it. The teacher is recovering.
We now turn to your weather, which is getting a lot more wintry after about 3-4 weeks or so of some pretty warm conditions. In fact, enough that basically all of our snow has melted away. We'll stack on a little bit more, though, some overnight snow tonight. Don't expect much, though, in the accumulation department. However, between that and a little bit of rain tonight, all the rain tonight, freezing a little bit. That means it will be slippery at times for your morning commute. The rest of Thursday, though, not looking all that bad. So here's the radar picture right now. It is mostly snow, still a little bit of rain clinging onto some of the warmer areas between Spokane and Coeur d'Alene at this hour. And things are actually clearing up a little bit in central Washington. So the action really is going to start shifting primarily into North Idaho as we go through the rest of the night. So for the next few hours, that'll be kind of the peak snow time. Afterwards, a lot of this snow retreats up into the mountains in the early morning. Places like Lookout Pass, 4th of July Pass, we'll see some more light snow accumulations. Don't expect it to be more than an inch or 3, however. And here we go, 7 in the morning, a chance for a couple of showers still remaining around Lake Pend Oreille, and that's fairly typical with some of these systems that we see. Also be looking out for some fog in the morning as well. The rest of the day actually looking fairly decent. So for the next few hours, that's the prime time, right? By the time we get to that 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. time frame, it is calm, it is foggy. Our temperature's going to bottom out in the low 30s tonight. And here's the updated snow numbers. As you can see, not all that much. A dusting, maybe an inch around some parts of North Idaho at the very most. And, well, things are going to be pretty quiet tonight around central and central eastern parts of Washington. Lows tonight, 30 in Spokane, 33 in Coeur d'Alene. So just remember here, after all the wet weather today, there are going to be, especially on some of those side roads that don't get treated, there will be some icy conditions, or at least some slick conditions out there in the morning. When I come back, we'll take a look at the passes and the rest of your weekend, a preview of the weekend.
Thank you, Matt. Lewiston residents are being asked to boil their water before drinking it. The city's reservoir ruptured, causing a failure to the water system early this morning. That water system failure led to flooding, which damaged some property and homes. The city issued a local disaster emergency, which is making its way up to the state level. If approved, the city would be able to ask for assistance from higher levels of government. And after this happened, water came flooding down the stream behind this home here. The Royce family's entire backyard filled with several feet of muddy water. Their home's basement also took on that flooding. Luckily, no one was in the basement at the time and everyone is safe.
It was deafening. That was the scariest part, is he just waking up to hearing that sound and not knowing where it was coming from.
Several schools in Lewiston were closed today, and businesses like the Wayback Cafe had to make some serious changes.
NASA and Boeing are joining forces to create a greener commercial airplane. The purpose of the project is to test and fly an emission-reducing single-aisle aircraft that will eventually lead to fuel-efficient commercial airliners in the next decade. The first test flight of this experimental aircraft is set to take place in 2028. Up to 30% of fuel consumption and emissions are expected to be reduced in the new aircraft. Microsoft is planning massive layoffs after the break.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on the next task. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXOY.com to nominate it. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
Where will your new Chevy take you this year? Anywhere. Find new experiences. Find new roads. Well-qualified buyers get 2.99% financing on all Equinox models or get $1,000 cash allowance on all 2023 Equinox models. Plus, current competitive owners get an additional $750 cash allowance.
Are you ready for this? Ready to take chances? Will you push and break your limits? Are you ready to be a legend? Are you ready to fight? To be fearless? Are you made for greatness? This is your moment. Are you ready for this?
Over the years, your floor can take a beating. From those indoor soccer matches to late-night parties, it's important to choose a quality product that will last a lifetime and add elegance to your home. Nobody has a better selection at a better price than the hometown pros at Windsor Plywood.
It's time to shop. Shop for wood.
At Windsor Plywood, they will help you pick it out, give you great tips on how to install it, and even give you ideas for other upgrades. It's a one-stop shop that's got it all.
Windsor Plywood.
At Cal, you'll never know what you'll find. Classic cars, tricked-out high-performance trucks, sporty low-mileage SUVs, and reliable fun rides.
We always have cool rides at SoFast.
Chevy, Ford, Dodge, Toyota, Mercedes, BMW.
If you need a certain style of vehicle, we will find it for you. Plus, every rig comes with a 1-month, 1,000-mile warranty.
And $50 down is all you need.
The inventory changes quickly because we price them right.
4 News Now is brought to you by Pure Filtration Products.
Thanks for staying up with us. Microsoft is laying off 10,000 workers. The company says it's cutting costs in response to looming recession fears and changing customer priorities. In a memo to employees, Microsoft said the job cuts represent less than 5% of the company's total workforce and that the layoffs will be complete by the end of March. Microsoft is just the latest tech company to reduce its workforce.
Turns out Washington is one of the worst states to drive, according to a new study by Wallet Hub, coming in 49th place with Hawaii in last place. Washington ranked 47th in cost of ownership, 39th in traffic and infrastructure, 20th in safety, and 16th in access to vehicles and maintenance. Idaho just missed the top 5, taking the number 6th spot of one of the best states to go for a drive.
You know, I've had some bad times on I-90. I'll give that. Where's Florida on this list? Did it not make the list? I don't know. Just Florida man says
it's not good.
Florida man says that Florida needs to be at the very bottom of the list. Let me tell you. Don't drive like you're from Florida, though. I see you people on I-90 sometimes. Live pass cams. Speaking of which, I-90 Snoqualmie Pass shut down briefly. Eastbound lanes are back open now, but it is snowing hard on Snoqualmie. So pass travel starting to get into that mode again. There will be some light snow accumulations later tonight on Lookout Pass. 4th of July, we'll be looking for that as well as this system continues to track through the region. And so for the morning, whether you get a little dusting of snow at your house, whether you don't, you just have some moisture on the road from all the rain we've seen today and the fog from this morning. Yeah, want to keep it a little bit slower because it is going to be a little slippery out there. Temperature is going to be right around 30 degrees, and we will see some patchy fog after all the wetness that we've experienced throughout the day today. Now, some good news here. By the afternoon, especially across eastern Washington, good chance to see the sun come out, at least for a little bit. Don't expect it to be a beautiful sunny day or anything like that. It's winter after all, but certainly some sun is absolutely better than no sun at this point in the year. North Idaho friends, with the clouds hanging out a little bit longer into the morning, my sun forecast is a little less optimistic for you. 35 in Coeur d'Alene, 36 in Spokane for your highs. For your Thursday, we'll get close to 40 degrees in Moses Lake, Ritzville, and in the 40s in Lewiston. Quick preview of the weekend here. Once again, A couple mountain little flurries possible in the morning around North Idaho. The next system comes in for Saturday afternoon, so be ready for some snow. We're not expecting a whole lot here, just a little bit of more light dusting accumulations, but after some cooler weather, some of this might actually have a little bit better time sticking than what we have seen so far tonight. So keep that in mind for any plans Saturday night and if you have any travel plans for Sunday morning. Otherwise, looks like pretty typical January weather. Not too warm, not too chilly, just right in the middle. This is not in the middle, though. This is spectacular. Our friend James Richmond earlier this month, or in fact the end of last month, took this wonderful shot from Steptoe Butte. You see a lot of his photos in the backgrounds of our weather graphics. So thank you, James, as always, for letting us do that. And boy, that is a wonderful, wonderful photo.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Northwest Motorsport.
You two want to know the sex of the baby?
Yes.
No.
Monday, the good doctor makes a stunning return.
There is a thinning area on your uterine wall.
It sounds bad. If it progresses, we would lose the baby.
Please, an emergency surgery.
Oh, you can't come in. Mia would want me in there. I need to fix it.
I will come back and get you, I promise.
The Good Doctor returns Monday on ABC and stream on Hulu.
The Floor Trader Outlet Deflation Sale going on now. LVP flooring, laminate, and tile at the lowest prices in over 2 years. Over 200 flooring and tile options in stock and ready for you to take home. The Floor Trader Outlet's Deflation Sale.
It's where the Northwest saves on flooring.
Corner of Division and Francis.
The biggest Tempur-Pedic event of the year is on right now at More Furniture.
Your best night's rest is available at an incredible value.
Choose the Tempur-Pedic that suits your sleep style and outfit your bed with a free set of sheets, mattress protector, and 2 free Tempur-Pedic pillows.
We will also remove your old mattress with free white glove delivery of your new one.
Plus, you can take a full 72 months to pay with interest-free financing. Don't wait. The biggest Tempur-Pedic sale of the year is on now, only at More Furniture.
Communities in School surrounds kids with a community of support to achieve success in school and life.
CIS provides critical resources like food, clothing, and tutoring so kids can focus on their education. CIS helps kids succeed inside the classroom and beyond.
Numerica is honored to partner with organizations like Communities in Schools who enhance lives, fulfill dreams, and build communities.
Check out more organizations that make our community stronger at numericacu.com.
The Floor Trader Outlet Deflation Sale going on now. LVP flooring, laminate, and tile at the lowest prices in over 2 years. Over 200 flooring and tile options in stock and ready for you to take home. The Floor Trader Outlet's Deflation Sale.
It's where the Northwest saves on flooring.
Corner of Division and Francis.
You know, it might be time to leave those Saturdays open in the fall. Make no plans. Just be flexible is all I'm saying, because football is coming. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minenson. Washington State released its full football schedule for next season, and the Cougars have some matchups you're going to want to circle on your calendar. The Cougars open the season on September 2nd on the road against Colorado State, and that will be followed by the home opener against Wisconsin on September 9th. Huge game because Wisconsin will be the first Power 5 program to play a non-conference game in Pullman in 25 years. Now, similar to last season, the Apple Cup against Washington will be held on the Saturday after Thanksgiving in Seattle. Now, here is the full schedule. Washington State has 6 home games. They can be spotted in crimson there. The Cougars open up Pac-12 play on September 23rd at home against Oregon State. One thing to keep in mind, Washington State gets a bye week early in the season. That means the Cougars will have to play 8 games in 8 weeks to end the season. And along that stretch are road matchups against UCLA and Oregon. And of course, a big one, Deion Sanders in his debut season with the Colorado Buffaloes will travel to Pullman for senior night in November.
He's a big deal to us, and so just couldn't be more tickled by the way the whole thing turned out and how he handled it, and really, as we look to the future, he's a big part of why we're looking to the future so promisingly.
And Seattle Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll had nothing but nice things to say about quarterback Geno Smith. Now, in his end-of-the-season press conference, Carroll expressed how much he wants Smith to stay with the Seahawks next year. Smith also said he wants to return to the Seahawks, so there's an agreement there. Now comes the tough part. Smith becomes a free agent on March 15th. The Seahawks have a few options here. Smith and the Seahawks could agree on a deal before March 15th, but the Seahawks could also use a franchise tag on Smith, meaning that the two parties would have until July 15th to negotiate a long-term deal. Otherwise, Smith would play a one-year, fully guaranteed contract worth about $32 million. Now, no one wants to see Smith in a Seahawks uniform more than Coach Carroll.
I mean, how about coming out against the Niners on the road, and he's 9 for 10 in the first half. You know, he's on his stuff. And he had an excellent game for us in that game. And even though the turnovers happened, he played really well. Just to show you again that he's on it. And we got our guy, and we need to hopefully work things out so he's with us and all that.
Now, Smith also broke the Seahawks single-season passing yard record this year. Gonzaga basketball didn't need a game-winning shot or final defensive stop to get a win over Portland on Saturday. It was the Bulldogs' most lopsided win in conference play so far. The Bulldogs needed an easy win, especially since they're going up against that big fellow right there, Loyola Marymount's Kelly LePepe. And the Bulldogs will be well rested heading into that Thursday night matchup against LMU. No player on Gonzaga's team has played more than 30 minutes in Saturday's game. And this comes after 3 straight games in which most of Gonzaga's starters played a lot, heavy minutes. Gonzaga head coach Mark Few says rest is important, especially before facing a team like LMU.
They play super, super hard. They're super physical. LePepe is back for another year, man. I mean, and he's just so big and strong and athletic, and he's like Robertson. He's just a good basketball player, you know. Tough matchup. They've really had some nice wins this year. Yeah, they've been a tough out pretty much for everybody.
6 o'clock tip-off tomorrow night. And Gonzaga women's basketball has some national recognition. Forwards Yvonne Ejim and Brenna Maxwell were named to the midseason watch list for the Becky Hammond Award, which is given to the mid-major conference player of the year. Ejim leads the Bulldogs in scoring. Maxwell's the best free throw and three-point shooter in the nation. And Gonzaga will take on Pacific at 11 a.m. tomorrow. That'll wrap us up for sports.